Whoa, another live. I try to go live as much as I can, once a day. Okay. Oh, this was before. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get this. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, we work on it. Oh, we work on it. Okay. So, hello, good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for everybody that's here already. Everybody that's here. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. So today, I wasn't technically gonna talk about the subject. Probably not gonna be a lot of popular, but this is something dear to my heart. If you watch my channel, you know when it comes to kids, yeah, I whenever kids are involved, kids are being hurt, that really just pisses me off for whatever reason. So all I gonna need is a few minutes. My lives are never that long. So today I was watching Sheriff Grady Judd. I have made different shorts about Sheriff Grady because Sheriff Grady be roasting people. Sheriff Grady is too funny. Sheriff Grady's a mess, but today he was serious. Today it was serious because it was a serious thing that he had to do and he had to talk about. And what Sheriff Grady does, Sheriff Judd, let's say, um, when and this is not the first time he does this, but he is one of the few sheriffs, one of the few counties, one of the few police enforcement officers when they arrest these sickos and wicked evil people that do these wicked and evil stuff to these kids. They don't have press conferences. Sheriff Grady does. He has press conferences and he shows the pictures of these disgusting men, women be in it too, that be trafficking kids, be doing this evil stuff to kids as young as a few days old, as young as a few weeks old. How sick can you be? You can't tell me what can a child like that do for you? It doesn't even make any sense. What can a child like that do for you? How can they satisfy you? A few weeks old child. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, we do need more people like Sheriff Grady Judge, and people be talking, oh, he probably racist, he probably this. Oh well, nobody's perfect. If he's racist, God knows. If he's not racist, God, only God knows. But I'm telling you, what he does is not a lot of sheriffs that does this, because I remember it was not too long ago. That was last year, right? When we was riding around that area, and then we saw that young girl. Well, I saw her, the kids didn't see her. She just happened, this young girl, she couldn't be like 15, 16, and in this particular area down the street is a sheriff's office. Down the street is a sheriff's office. They up the street. Y'all can't tell me y'all don't be seeing these girls walking the strip. Okay. And in the midst of them, there was this 15 or 16-year old. And I passed by the first time. I was still gonna mind my business, but it just nagged me. I said, you know what? Let me pass by again to see how this girl really look. So I passed by driving slow. You know, this time I was being nosy, but I was being nosy for some good reason. And then that was a little girl. She was a very young girl, but she had the scantily clad. She barely had any clothes on, and she had the makeup, and she had this long wig. You think that she probably no grown but young, but she was, when you really look at her, she was a young girl. So as you know, I think Florida is like the second or third position in human trafficking. So they have this number that you could call to report. And when I was talking to the, and then they make it so, this is what I can, they make it so difficult to even call to report stuff. It was a challenge to get through. And then when you get through, they acting like you did something. It was ridiculous. But they had given me, when I finally got through, they had given me this case number to keep track of the thing. After that, I never saw the girl. Maybe they just took her off or whatever. But it's of the other women that would usually be in the area. They are still walking the strip, even though a sheriff's office is right down the street. So that's one of the reasons why I respect Sheriff Grady Judd and the things that he did, the things that he do, and how he stands. People might have, oh, he look like he clout chasing, he always want to go viral and stuff like that. That's because he has a personality to go that. Don't hate on the man. He got the personality to do that. But today it was serious because they arrested quite a few men. One of them was Disney. One of them was a Disney employee. Another one was a photography. He used to take pictures of young kids. Young kids. Some of them barely have like in their underwear. He took pictures of them naked. Some of them the parents knew. I'm saying these parents, are y'all that stupid? Y'all that stupid? Y'all don't see something. Even with a male pediatric doctor, I never was comfortable with my girls having a. I always wanted. Not saying women can't do it, but I, and then even with the women, I be right there watching to see what you're doing, because the devil will use anybody. If you open and willing, the devil would use you. But I'm saying to these parents, how you letting your child be naked? A child, not a grown adult, a child taking nude pictures and then they talking about it's art, because he was doing it, and he was whoever he told, because I think they got him in a sting. He was told, he was telling the person saying, oh, he hoped Sheriff Grady Judd never find out what he's doing, because if Sheriff Grady Judd find out, Sheriff Grady Judd's gonna turn it into something that's not good, because it's art, it's not pornography. Sheriff Grady Judd's gonna say it's pornography. It is good pornography because they little kids. There's some sick people out in this world. So the people that work, and it's not only Sheriff Grady Judd, it's also Tampa and Pasco County. In Pasco County, in Tampa, it was, I forgot, I should look up the sheriff's name, but in Pasco County, they had a task force that arrested a lot of them not too long ago. That man is stupid. I know he is stupid, right? And then he ended up getting caught because you're worth of life anyway. Jeez, I probably, oh dang, I should put on the light. But anyway, so Pasco County, yes, Pasco County, that sheriff over there, he did a ring. I think that was last week, in the same line of what happened to what Sheriff Grady did. They found pictures of young kids. I mean, not little kids, babies, a few weeks old, 3 months old, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, fully being penetrated, screaming, protecting the children. Where are the parents? It doesn't. When I heard that, that just grieved my spirit. That just grieved my spirit. Where are the parents? They have a song. It's called Boycott Target. I was supposed to post that. I forgot to post that. I was supposed to post it last night, but it was so late. I said I was supposed to post it early. I forgot. But it's called Boycott Target. Boycott Target is by Fargiato Blow. What his name is? The mayor of Magaville. He's like a Trump supporter, but he's a rapper also. It's like a bunch of other people that came together, and they went somehow they got in Target, and they did the music video to boycott Target, because if you didn't know, Target had a bunch of products, items, merchandise. Let's say merchandise promoting to children, because if adults are a part of the LGBTQ. Well, long time, let's say, okay, long time, adults was part of the LGBTQ community. Even though the child may have, identified that way, it was not appropriate yet for them to get into that community yet because they still kids. But now that's out of the door. So they promoting stuff to babies and stuff like that. Maybe for the parents who are part of this community, so they could put it on their children. But there are other kids who parents are not part of that community. They're gonna pass by in Target and see these things. So in a sense, and kids are impressionable. Anything they say, it makes an impression on their brain. It makes an impression on their lives. And some stuff they only need to see it once. Some stuff they only need to hear it once, and it could build up a complex in their mind. It could stay with them. It could change their behavior. It could change their mindset. That's why we always, kids are so precious. We keep them away from certain stuff because they're supposed to be protected. But obviously, people don't care nowadays. That's why you have kids a few weeks old in the hands of predators. It doesn't make any sense. It reminds me of a dream my sister had, and she said that she was walking someplace, and then she found this little baby in this ditch. She found a little baby in a ditch, abandoned, and it was of it's not saying that that's what Hispanic people do, but it was just of Hispanic. It was of the Hispanic descent, the baby, and she picked up the baby, and this other lady probably saw the baby from afar, heard the baby from afar. She's trying to take the baby, but this lady didn't have good intentions for the baby. So I'm thinking of a lot of these kids, and now if you didn't know, a lot of them, there's a lot of people coming through from Mexico, and they have 85,000 kids that they don't know where they are. 85,000 kids. Some of them, they don't speak Spanish. They don't speak English. They speak like a different language. So they have all those kids they unaccounted for. So when I remember that dream and I say, what's going on now? It's like maybe that's how people are abandoning their kids, or they giving it to this person, and the person say they're gonna take care of the child, thinking they're gonna meet up with their child again, and then these people selling their kids. And in the irony of one of the men that got arrested, his wife is a CPS worker. She's been working. She was a former, but he's probably been doing that to these kids for years. It ain't like he just started. So this lady's she was supposed to be taking care of kids, taking kids out of bad environments, and her husband doing bad stuff to kids. One lady, she just got married to one guy. They've been married for a year, and then she asking them if she married a devil. You think anybody who do stuff like that to kids, you asking if they're a devil, ma'am? It doesn't make any sense. And then nobody's singing. When this boy caught Target song, people criticizing them and stuff like that. But at least they, in a sense, standing up for the kids, advocating for the kids. Who else is doing that? Who else is doing that? Who else is advocating for these kids, trying to protect these kids? Why do kids have to know about a certain lifestyle, certain sexual orientation? Shouldn't they wait? There should be a time in their life that if their parents want to teach them, that's up to them. And even if it's people say it's up to the parents, if the parents want them to know and stuff like, that's not inappropriate. There's an age that's not appropriate for kids to know stuff like that. But people don't care. People don't care nowadays. So that's why I tell you I was grieved. And then the thing is, they just have pictures of these kids. They don't know where they are. That's like pictures that these sick men took, and then like for souvenirs. They don't know where these kids are. They don't know where these kids are at all. It doesn't make any sense. I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say. It was very important too. And I like the fact that how Sheriff Judd put that picture on blast. And then you could always go back and say, you look familiar. Maybe you were one of the people. Oh my goodness. And the guy from Pasco County, the sheriff from Pasco County, he's like one of the men that they arrested. Oh, he was like saying, oh, he afraid to go to jail and stuff like that. He don't want to go to jail. And the sheriff was like, you afraid to go to jail? You supposed to be afraid to see God, because you're gonna pay for what you did. Because children are precious in the sight of the Lord. Children, because the Bible even tells you, for you to enter into the kingdom of heaven, you have to be like little kids. That's how much value that God placed on kids, because they are truly innocent and they require protection. And people may say, okay, why God be giving God be giving certain people kids, and then they just gonna do bad stuff to them? They're gonna sell them off or whatever. They don't take care of them. They don't protect them. But that's why certain stuff we can't never understand. God is not going to say, hey, you don't deserve a child because you going to do bad stuff to the child, but you deserve a child because you're going to take care of them. We don't know why God do certain stuff. But when he do give you a child and you don't take care of them, you don't protect that child, you're going to have to answer to him. So you don't say, oh God, you never gave me a child because maybe you was judging me and stuff like that. No, he gave you a child to protect and you failed to protect them. What's your excuse? Because you have free will. God is never going to go and say, you stop it right now. I have given you a child. Why are you not taking care of the child? You better take it. God is never going to do that. God gives you free will. He gives you he gives you curses and blessings. He urges you to pick blessings. He urges you to do the right thing. But hey, it's up to you to do the right thing. It's up to you to do the wrong thing. God, it rains on the good person and the evil person. God doesn't show favoritism. But when that day comes, and some people, it's not when you go to judgment day, before you leave this earth. You have a child you're not taking care of. You have a child you're doing bad stuff to, or you like they have the child molesters in the family. They shun the child. They talk bad about the child, but then they protect the molester. All y'all gonna pay. Every last one of y'all that protected this person, that tell the child that the child was lying, or the child is fast and stuff like that. All y'all gonna pay. Every last one of y'all. We are going to pay for the negligent stuff that we let happen to our children, how we fail to protect our children. All of us, every last one of us, unless you realize what you did and you ask God to forgive you and stuff like that. But if not, you're going to pay. The man is afraid to go to prison because when they go to prison for stuff like that, being a predator, they get attacked and stuff like that happen to them. That's what they're afraid of. But you're not afraid of meeting a God that is going to sentence you to forever and ever in the lake of fire. You're not afraid of that. But you're afraid of not going to jail. So I don't know where these kids are. Who is doing it? But these kids, oh my goodness. And then, yes, this is what I wanted to say. The task force that they have, the Pasco County Sheriff Grady Judge officers, these people literally had to sit there and watch videos of these stuff happening to these kids. How are they their mindset? Because you could finish watch something like that and all you want to do is go look for these people and then turn to a vigilante. And take them on. Child, the law probably gonna let y'all off. So before the law let you off, I'm gonna take you out for doing stuff to these kids. I know because Sheriff Gray said the horrific things that they saw. We gotta pray for these officers that have to watch these things because they probably trying to figure out where these kids are. If they could see something, something in there that could give them an indication what area they're in or who's behind it. Maybe that's somebody who's already in the database system. And then even watching this stuff over and over and over again, you're gonna be haunted by nightmares. It could even change you. Oh my goodness, these stuff are sick. These stuff are sick. I tell you, I was just grieved. I didn't even finish get to watch the whole everything. I usually back when Sheriff Grady has a press conference, I'm usually able to finish it. But this one, I was unable to finish it because I couldn't hear all them stuff. It was too much. It was too much. And then you have, what are we doing? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is a very sick world where you have people that are. And I remember when I first started the YouTube channel, it was I posted the video. It was a doctor because just in case people want to say whatever, this guy has a doctorate degree. He was like, when people watch pornography, the part in their brain that lights up is the part that sees people as objects. That's the part that lights up. So it would make sense when if the person keeps on, that's all they've been watching, especially if they've been watching it from when they were young. So when they encounter these kids, they don't see them as kids. They see them as object. An object they could use to fulfill their nasty desires. It's somewhere on my channel because I posted it when I first started the channel. So that's probably sometime in 2021 or 2020, early 2022. It was real early. He said the part that lights up in the person's brain that watch porn is the part that sees people as objects. Just like when Jesus was healing a man that couldn't see, and he asked the man if he could see. He's like, "No, I can't see. I see people as trees." Then Jesus is like, you can't see people as trees. You need a second touch. Because if you see people as trees, you're gonna be want to chop off they branches. You want to chop off their leaves because you see people as trees. Jesus was like, you can't see people as trees. You need a second touch. Some of us, we need a second touch. Some of us was never touched by Jesus. Some of us need to be touched a third, fourth time because we see people as trees. We see people as objects. Look at. I was supposed to make a video on that. I still haven't been able to make a video on that about the little baby that they found in the forest, and the two teenage girls. It sounded like an animal, but they was like, an animal don't sound like it. It nagged them. And they tell them, say, "Dad, that's a baby." And they told their dad to go out in the middle of the night, in the middle of a forest. That's why dads are important in our children's life, especially a good dad. So on what his daughters say, he went out in the middle of the forest. All he has is listening to a sound that sounds like an animal, maybe a baby, but he don't know. And then when he went out, he found a little baby in a plastic bag. Plastic bag. This little baby was in a plastic bag. And that was a sheer miracle how this baby survived. You can tell God have a plan for this little girl. It was a little girl. They call her Baby India. If you go look up Baby India, she was found in a plastic bag. And God placed in these two teenage girls. You know, teenage kids. Some of these teenage kids, you know, they just into themselves, and they don't worry about other. Not all kids are like that, but these teenage kids say, "Dad, no, that's a child." And they found the baby in the plastic bag. The baby was already turning purple and blue. That means it was losing oxygen. Still had the umbilical cord attached to the baby. Harry called the paramedics, got this baby out. I think that happened like somewhere in 2019. They didn't know, you know, what happened to this child, where's the mother, what happened, or whatever it may be. So I guess somebody adopted the child. Fast forward to last month, they found the mother. They found the mother. It was this lady, and who was married with three other kids, but decided to get rid of this child. I'm saying maybe this is because how they get to find out about her. They found the father. They found the father. I think he probably was arrested or whatever, or he had something in their database, and then they matched him together. And by getting him, they got her, and she was arrested. She was arrested. So when this happened, the lady was like 37, 38. You 37, 38 years old. You don't know. You could just finish have the child was just born. You could have dropped the baby off to the hospital, to the fire station, and nobody would have ever asked you a question. Well, also probably some, because they tell people, say nobody gonna ask them question, but there's nosy people that gonna ask them question, but you don't have to answer, because there's nothing gonna happen to you, because you follow the rules. But you put this baby in a plastic bag and threw it on the side of the road in the forest, and it was supposed to rain. It was supposed to thunder and rain. They happened to find the baby just in time. This was in the middle of the forest where there's insects and all kind of stuff. It had a chance to get to the baby. The fact that the father came out and listened to the thing, came and got the baby out in time, tear open the plastic bag so the baby could read. Because people don't see kids as kids anymore. They see them as objects. They see them as burdens and stuff like that. That's why people don't consider, hey, God say children are a blessing. I'm going to be strategic in picking the person that I'm going to sleep with and have a child with. I'm going to be very careful how I raise my child. Because this child is a blessing. I don't know how this child is going to be a blessing to me, but it's a blessing. But we can never see how these kids is a blessing, because we don't see them as blessings. They're just burdens. This is sad. That's sad. And Sheriff Judd, say whatever you want to say about Sheriff Judd. Sheriff Judd is the very few that when he breaks up these rings, but I think he has done this, and then they found like older teenagers. This still isn't good, but I think what's really shook him, and that really shook him, is because they found little babies this time. We have heard stuff like this has happened, but for him to actually, and then they have video of these kids, I think that really shook him to the core. And not all police agency does this. They just be arresting these people, keep it under wraps. These people, and most of the time, these people are very, very high position, very good paying jobs. That's why they could do the stuff that's why they could do the sick things that they do, because they have good jobs. But Sheriff Grady is the only one that's going to put them on blast. Put them on blast. Just like the Boycott Target song is putting Target on blast for doing that to kids. But then people always have something to say. What are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing to protect the children? When somebody in your family, God forbid, somebody in your family come and tell you something, are you somebody that somebody could come and tell you? Uncle so and so did this to me. Auntie so and so did this to me. Talking to people as they are adults now. I know people who were touched, molested when they were younger. How these people's lives changed. It's more important. It's so much more important to protect the children. We have to protect the children. We must protect the children, because we will answer for not protecting the children. You can't protect everybody. You can't do it for everybody. But one, two, you could do that. Somebody not taking care of this kid the way they probably gonna curse you out anyway, because they don't listen. But they can't never tell them. They can't never said nobody never told them nothing. Anytime I see, especially when I see people, they walking and then they walking in the front and the kids all the way in the back. I said, what is wrong with you? I don't understand how people do stuff like that. I do not understand that. Maybe I was born in a different time, I'm just different. I don't know. But I think that's all I had to say on this situation. I could say probably even more. But thank you for everybody that tuned in. Let's do our part. We can't do it for everybody, but let's do our part for the children that are in our surrounding. Protect the children. Stand up for them. Advocate for them. Because if you don't do it, ain't nobody else gonna do it. Because a lot of people don't care. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.